Welcome back to another edition of Get Well Acadiana and the first show of 2019. Brandon, I'm so excited to be renewing the show this year and bringing the show back for another season. Brandon Como, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited as well. I mean, there is so much going on in today's world, and I'm really looking forward to some of the discussions that we'll be having here when it comes to our health. So, let's get started with 2019.
I'm excited. The goal of this show is to bring you the latest technologies and advancements in natural health care and, some natural solutions to some of the most complicated and difficult health problems that the majority of people are suffering with in Acadiana. So, I'm super excited. And, today's show is going to be about one of those very important topics for the people here in Acadiana. And it's also a very relevant topic since it's, New Year's and everybody makes the resolution to lose a little bit of weight. So we're going to talk about weight loss right off the bat here in 2019. And that is such an important thing to discuss. And, everybody makes that New Year's resolution to lose a little bit of weight. And the truth is, though, is there are things that you need to know about why your body is not losing weight or why it's so difficult that if you can look into that and address those things first, it will make such a big difference. We're launching our Get Into Shape program this month. And if you're finally ready to do it this year, if you're finally to that point where you are ready to get down to your goal weight, then this program that we're launching this month might just be for you. Brandon, the people that are the most successful in my weight loss program and really in any weight loss program are the ones that come into me and they bang their fist on my desk and go, I'm willing to do whatever I have to do to lose weight. Those are the people that are ready. If it's just, okay, you're going to make a resolution. You made the same resolution last year. You're going to do it for a couple of weeks. That's not going to work. You have to be serious about losing weight. You can't sort of play around the edges and just talk a good game and ever really be successful. It just doesn't work. Weight loss, there's just too much that goes into it in order for you to be successful. But realize that weight problems, though, are more than just how you look. Weight problems make you more prone to getting cancer. They're important for so many other things, make you more prone to having a heart attack or getting diabetes or really almost every other chronic disease. Being overweight shortens your life, period. It's just that simple. And it also decreases the quality of your life. It lowers your energy so you don't feel like doing as many things. It increases your chance of getting injured. There's tons of research to show that. And it makes you have a higher chance of getting arthritis and disc problems. There's lots of things that come along with weight loss other than just how you look.
Yeah, I think of people that struggle with pain, especially on their knees, because of the extra weight that they're carrying and all that extra weight, the stress that it puts on their legs and on their knees. And you talked about quality of life, and it's not much of a quality of life when you can barely get around.
Exactly right. And if we can just get the weight down, it will help so many other things. It will help every other aspect of your life. So today I'm going to tell you some of the secrets to why you can't lose weight. And that's really what makes our program so different, is that we address the underlying reasons of why your body is signaling fat storage in the first place. And until you address that, you're really going to have a difficult time permanently losing weight. It's just the unfortunate facts of the case. You can't just address the food aspect of weight loss and be very successful if your body is signaling fat storage from all of these other things that are internal cellular problems. So we're going to get into all of that on the show today. And, sometimes people go, well, Doc, it's easy for you to say that. You're thin and healthy already. I was actually overweight my whole life. I was the heavy kid growing up. 7 years ago, I was obese. I had a 40-inch waist. I had sleep apnea, high blood pressure, and prediabetes. I was a mess 7 years ago, and then I had my son. And I started kind of late. I was 40 at the time, but that's when I really decided to make a change. I was sitting there, looking into the eyes of my new son, and I could hear my labored breathing as I'm trying to get him to go to sleep from being so overweight. And I realized that if I wanted to see college graduation and maybe even high school graduation, that I really needed to do something different. And that was when this all started for me. That was when I began to research from some of the top experts in the field of why our bodies want to store fat so readily. And I began to research and study mostly for myself at the time. And that's when I began to put this program together. And I got one of the top weight loss coaches in the country to work with me. And that was, of course, before I became a nationally recognized weight loss coach. But I went from 240 pounds with a 40-inch waist. I went from obese to losing 73 pounds and winning the Louisiana Masters Physique Championship the year before last. And the way that I did that was I solved all of those little things inside my body that were signaling fat storage. And then we worked on the weight loss itself. And if you do it that way, it does not have to be so hard. And when I began to discover this research, that there are real underlying things happening inside the body that are signaling fat storage that have nothing to do with food whatsoever, it really was an eye-opener for me. And the reason that my weight loss program is so successful when all others has failed is because we want to stop those underlying signals first that are telling your body to store fat. We want to stop that signaling process. And if we can address that first, if we can turn the body's signaling off that says continually store fat instead of burn fat, if we can change that signaling process in the body first, weight loss becomes fairly simple. And you notice I didn't say easy. I said it becomes fairly simple. It does not have to be this hard, guys. So many people try these fad diets and the yo-yo dieting, and they gain and lose and gain and lose, and they get frustrated and just give up. It does not have to be that way. If we can turn off these signaling processes of the body first before you ever start trying to lose weight, it can become relatively simple. And I'm going to get into all of that on the show today. We're going to take a break, but before we take a break, we're launching our 2019 Get Into Shape program. And I'm going to be taking the first 20 participants to join our program to personally work with them until they absolutely get down to their ideal size and do it for good this time. I'll tell you exactly how you can approach your individual set of problems that's causing you to gain weight or have the inability to lose weight. And so we're going to be hosting a free community workshop on this program called 4 Secrets to Permanent Weight Loss. And it is going to be January the 16th at the Hampton Inn Conference Room in Broussard. And if you want to register for that, the number's 837-7174. And this one is going to fill up super quickly. We do only have room. I only have room in my schedule to take the first 20 callers. So, if you're interested in really doing it, if you're one of those bang on the desk people that says, I'm now willing to do whatever I have to do, if that's you, I can accept you into the program, and this can be something that you can finally do it within, the first few months of 2019, and then go on and have a healthier future and a healthier life. So that number was 837-7174, and I'm going to tell you these 4 secrets to permanent weight loss right after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Get Well Acadiana with Dr. Kevin. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. This is a very important show to launch this time of the year because today's show is about the battle of the bulge. 2/3 of you out there have it. 2/3 of Americans are either overweight or obese, and it's time to fix it. Now, before we get into this today, and I go through all of the details about these 4 secrets to permanent weight loss, I have one thing that I need to mention. And that is first, I need to mention our children and our teenagers, our kids with weight problems. Guys, this is something that's very dear to my heart. If you have youngsters with weight problems, kids or grandkids or, any of that, guys, please pay attention to this. This is such a huge problem today in the Acadiana area. Kids with weight problems is such a heartbreaker for me. This is something that's very dear to my heart. And I spend a lot of time on this. I have a child and teen weight loss program for kids that is fantastic. So please take a realistic look at the youngsters around you that are in your sphere of influence. And if you have children or grandchildren or somebody around you that's a youngster that has weight problems, please allow me to help them build the habits of health that will stay with them for the rest of their lives. We have a tendency, Brandon, to kind of see our kids as nothing's wrong with them, like they're kind of perfect, he'll grow out of it. They're just big boned. Oh, that's no problem. I was like that too, that kind of stuff. If there's a child in your circle of influence, either a child or grandchild or nephew or niece or whoever that's having weight problems, it affects every other aspect of their life. They will have a poor self-esteem. They will be less outgoing. They will be bullied more often. They will be picked at and possibly made fun of. Please don't overlook these problems. These children are being set up for a lifetime of chronic disease by not addressing these weight problems early. I work with kids and teens, and this is such a huge issue for me. I will do whatever we have to do to try to help them. So please take action. If you have a child in your circle of influence that's having weight problems, these kids desperately want to lose weight. And as a child and teen weight loss coach, I'm very gentle with this. I positively walk them through the steps that they need to do to become healthier for the rest of their lives. And so I want you to know, this is not done in an embarrassing way or anything like that. It's a very positive thing. We're very enthusiastic. And, honestly, what I've found is sometimes the parents are surprised to hear when the kids start talking about their weight problems. The parents sometimes are blown away how the child is actually, maybe they are having problems with it. Maybe they are already getting picked on and the parents didn't know. And so if this is happening, guys, we need to address this, and we need to address it now. And so I would be more than happy to discuss this on kind of how my child and teen weight loss program works. If you want to call my office, it's 837-7174. If you're a parent or a grandparent, you can call me and I'll give you a call back Monday and we can discuss that. Now, back to the adults though. This weight loss does not have to be as hard or complicated as what people make it. And there are really 4 main parts to our weight loss program that all need to be addressed in order for you to be successful at permanent weight loss. And that's why my workshop is titled 4 Secrets to Permanent Weight Loss, because you don't want to leave even one of these things out. And I don't want you to have to go through this again. I don't want you to lose 10 and gain 15, or worse than that, lose 50 and gain 80. There are steps you have to go through to ensure that does not happen. And you have to address the underlying reasons that your body is signaling fat storage. And it's kind of complex. There's a lot that goes into this. There's a lot of things that need to take place in order for you to be successful at this. And that's why having a coach is so critical to your success over time. It takes a coach to be successful at any complicated thing long term. Serena Williams has a coach. Drew Brees has a coach. Michael Phelps has a coach. And these are some of the highest performing athletes in the world. Of course, they know what to do already. And I have people tell me that sometimes. Oh, no, that's okay. I know what to do. Well, how's that worked out for you? It hasn't worked out for you. You have to have somebody there to help you, to coach you and walk you through these things. And that's what I do for people, is coach them to their ideal size. And so when people say, I'll just do it on my own, unfortunately, they're almost never successful. Around 90% of my patients that follow my program reach their ideal weight. And did you know that in general, percentages around 10%? Around 10% of the people that try to lose weight are successful. So we can flip that percentage 100%. You can go from 90% unsuccessful to 90% successful. And I can help you go from that almost no chance of working to a really great chance of working, that there's almost no chance of it not working. And the reason is because we first address these underlying reasons that your body's signaling fat gain or weight gain or not losing weight in the first place. Now, I wanted you guys to know that we're going to be launching our 2019 Get Into Shape program called 4 Secrets to Permanent Weight Loss. And I'm going to be hosting a workshop on January the 16th. And if you want to take place and you want to come to that and you want to be a participant of that, you can call my office at 837-7174 and leave your name and number on the machine. And when my staff gets back into the office on Monday, we will call you and we'll get you registered. It's 837-7174. And right after this break, I'm going to tell you the 4 secrets to permanent weight loss. We're going to break down each one of those 4 secrets. So don't miss this next segment. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Get Well Acadiana with Dr. Kevin. Thank you so much for joining me on the show today. Today's show is about getting you to your goal weight permanently and naturally. And before the break, I was saying that there are underlying signals happening in your body that have to be addressed for you to ever permanently be successful at weight loss. And I've developed these 4 secrets over the last 10 years of working with hundreds and hundreds of patients on different aspects of weight loss. And so here are the 4 secrets to permanent weight loss. Number 1 is unmanaged stress. If you have stress that you have not dealt with, which is a vast majority of you, by the way, if you have stress that you have not dealt with, that will prevent you from losing weight, and it will signal your body to gain weight. And I'm going to tell you why that is in just a minute. Secret number 2 is something called hypertoxicity of the liver. And I will explain what that is and why that causes you to gain weight, especially belly fat. And secret number 3 is counting macronutrients, not calories. And I'll tell you how that works. And then secret number 4 is contouring difficult areas with some new technology that we have. And all of those need to take place in order for you to be successful. And the first thing we have to do, though, before we get to those 4 secrets, there's something that may prevent even these 4 secrets from working. So this is kind of like not a secret, but it takes place before that. And that is your body's energy level. So many people are low energy that I talk to. They feel like they can barely make it through the day, much less add something extra on top of that, like to go for a walk or to focus on taking care of their food. It's like they're barely getting through the day. Many times we find patients that are in what we call an energy deficit. And what that means, there's an energy packet in your body. There's an energy molecule called ATP. ATP is what fuels your body's energy. Just like gasoline fuels your car and diesel fuels my truck. ATP is what fuels your metabolism and your energy level and your body to heal and you to have that full of energy kind of metabolism. And what we're finding is that many patients are burning through their body's energy faster than they can make it. And if this is happening to you and we don't address that, even these 4 secrets that I'm about to get into are going to be difficult. You have to make more energy than you're spending. You have to not burn through your energy faster than your body can make it. You know, it's like a bank account. If you have a checking account, you have to deposit more into that account than you're writing checks out of. Your body has to be able to make more ATP and make more energy to fuel all of those little extra things like metabolism and weight loss and digestion and proper hormone balance and libido. All those things get shut down if your body is short of the energy that it needs to run. Your body will literally have only a certain amount of energy, and it will say, I need to make sure I'm running brain, heart. I don't really have enough energy to run hormones and digestion and all these other extra things. And so we find this in so many patients. And why is this happening? Because our bodies are literally overwhelmed. We have so many things happening to us today that's burning through our energy faster than we can make it. And then the other compounding thing is that we don't make energy as good as we used to either. So we're not making as much and we're spending more out. It's almost like in this checking account is that you got a pay cut and you had a bunch of extra bills come in at the same time. So you're not putting as much in and you're spending way more out. Your checking account would be in real trouble, and that's what your energy and your metabolism may be doing. If you ever feel like you just don't have the energy to make it through the day, you probably don't have the energy to make it through the day. And we have to fix that for these 4 secrets to work. Now, when we get into these 4 secrets, number 1 I mentioned was unmanaged stress. So there are 2 kinds of people in America. Those people that admit they're under stress and those people that lie to themselves that they're not under stress. Now, this can be either minor stress. It can be something like loneliness, irritability, money stress, being stuck in traffic. It doesn't matter. Stress causes weight gain, and here's how. Stress signals fat storage, and there's really no way around it. Now, stress puts our body into a reflex mechanism called fight or flight. So back in the hunter-gatherer days, your body developed a defense mechanism as if you were being attacked by a predator or some kind of warring tribe, where your body is going to go into this defense mechanism where it's either going to fight or it's going to flight. Now, here's the problem with that. Your body responds physiologically the same to stress, whether you're sitting in traffic late for an appointment or someone is breaking into your house. The degree is obviously different, but the physiology that your body goes through is exactly the same. And when you go into this stress response, your body goes through 50 different changes, but I'm going to tell you the top 4. Number 1 is your blood pressure goes up because your body thinks, I'm about to fight or I'm about to run, and I need a lot of blood pressure in order to do that. So your blood pressure is elevated. And you know, I've always thought it was funny that all of these people have this high blood pressure, but they've never asked themselves why. Like they've never said, well, what's going on with that? Well, this is why. It's because stress, first thing that your body does under stress is it raises your blood pressure. That's actually a normal response to your body to being under stress. And so when we end up with high blood pressure, now we have all of the heart issues and the heart attacks and the strokes and all the other things that go with that. Number 2 is my body takes my blood from my digestive system and my other non-essential organs like my reproductive system, male and female organs, and it moves that blood into my arms and legs because it thinks I'm going to either fight, so I need blood in my arms, or I'm going to flight, so I need blood in my legs. So we end up with our digestive systems and our other non-essential organs shutting down because it doesn't have the proper blood flow to those organs, so it doesn't work as effectively. You're not going to be running from a predator and worry about digesting your food. It just doesn't work that way. And then number 3 on the list is your sleep hormones are shut down. You know, you're not going to be running from a predator and all of a sudden get sleepy. Or if, let's say, you're about to go to bed tonight and you're about to lay down and you hear your front door glass break open. So you go downstairs, you get your gun, you go downstairs, and the cat just knocked a vase off the mantle. It wasn't your front door at all. You're probably not going to be sleepy for a while. You're not going to go back to sleep right away. So stress throws off your sleep hormones. And a very important telltale sign of this is when you wake up in the middle of the night for no reason. So you're laying there perfectly asleep and 3 o'clock in the morning, boom, eyes wide awake. That's almost always this adrenal fatigue stress problem we're talking about. And then number 4 on the list, and this is where the weight gain comes in. Well, the sleep can affect weight gain as well. But mainly, your body produces a hormone under stress called cortisol. Cortisol is great if I'm injured in a fight because it's anti-inflammatory. So it goes to treat that area and to heal that area. But if cortisol is produced day after day from a high-stress life, cortisol becomes a weight-storing hormone. If you guys have ever known anybody the doctors put on cortisone for an extended period of time, like maybe they had an autoimmune problem or something, and they had to take cortisone for like 3 or 4 months, their weight goes up. They gain tremendous amounts of weight, these patients. And your body makes its own cortisone under stress called cortisol. So you cannot be under stress and lose weight at the same time. And guess what? 87% of the patients that we test for this stress problem have it. Almost 9 out of 10 of you out there have this going on. So you cannot be under stress and lose weight at the same time. You can't have an overproduction of cortisol every day and expect to be successful with any weight loss program. So that's step number 1 is dealing with this. How do we deal with this? And of course, I can't make the stress go away, but I can rebuild the body's adrenal system with an all-natural supplement that will help strengthen your body's adrenal glands. So the stress will still be there. You just won't go into that physiological response anymore. And then secret number 2 is hypertoxicity of the liver. The average American now eats 14 pounds of chemicals, toxins, and pollutants every single year. Your liver is the biggest filter of the body that filters all of that stuff out. And what happens whenever your liver becomes overloaded with chemical pollutants, it stores some of those in extra belly fat. So it will store belly fat to send some of those toxins to. So the more toxic your liver gets, the more belly fat you gain. And until you get rid of those liver toxins, until you detoxify the liver, your body is going to consistently signal, store more belly fat. So that's the first 2 secrets. We're going to get to the next 2 secrets right after this next break. But if you're interested in coming to my 4 secrets to a permanent weight loss workshop, we're going to break all of this down in great detail and show you the ins and outs of the program. We're discussing generalities today, but there's so much more you need to know about. My office number is 837-7174. We are taking the first 20 participants in our 2019 Get Back Into Shape program called 4 Secrets to Permanent Weight Loss. The workshop is going to be January the 16th in Broussard. The number's 837-7174. We can do this, guys. You can resolve your weight problems permanently. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back with those next 2 secrets. Welcome back to Get Well Acadiana with Dr. Kevin. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this very important weight loss show today. And before break, we were talking about the first 2 of the 4 secrets to permanent weight loss and the importance of preparing your body for weight loss first. If you have daily stress, and 87% of you out there do, if you have daily stress causing overproduction of cortisol in your body, then you're not going to be able to lose weight. It's going to be such an uphill battle. If you do not deal with your unmanaged stress first, you are going to have a really hard time ever permanently losing weight. even if you do lose weight, your body, every chance it gets, is going to want to gain it back because cortisol is a fat storing hormone. And if you don't address that cortisol overproduction, it's just never going to work. And then the next thing we went over was the liver. If your liver becomes too overloaded with toxic chemicals, it is going to signal for you to store extra belly fat. And guys, understand, the average American now eats 14 pounds of chemicals, toxins, and pesticides every single year. We talk about that all the time on this show, about all of the chemicals and pollutants that are put into our environment and into our bodies every single day. And all of these pollutants, not only are they hormone disrupting chemicals which cause weight gain, not only do they affect our metabolism, which causes weight gain, but if your liver has to filter all of these impurities out, your liver's response, because it has to spill some of these out, will be to signal extra belly fat storage to store some of those chemical impurities in. So guess what? Let's say you happen to struggle and lose 10 pounds, but you don't get rid of those chemicals and those toxins, what happens is this: you have now increased the ratio of pounds that you are versus the amount of chemicals. So now you're more toxic per pound than you were before. So guess what? Your body's going to gain that back plus 10 or 15 pounds, and it's going to be really hard to stop it because it was using that for storage system and an insulation system of all of these toxins and impurities that your liver has been overloaded with. So those two things actually have to be addressed first before we ever even move into anything to do with diet. Now, you guys will notice these two things by themselves will allow your body to now lose weight. And if you don't do these two things first and do them right, and make sure also that you have the energy and the metabolism to lose weight, it's going to be very, very difficult. And then secret number 3 is that we count macronutrients in the diet, not calories. So what do I mean by that? Macronutrients are proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Guys, these calorie counting programs and these point counting programs rarely work because your body doesn't look at food like that. When you swallow food, your body doesn't go, oh, that's about 80 calories. It doesn't work that way. That's not the way your body functions. That's not the way your systems are designed to work. Calorie counting and point counting programs are very ineffective. Your body looks at food. When you swallow a bite of food, your body goes, is that a protein? Is that a carbohydrate? Or is that a fat? And I'm going to metabolize it based on which one of those 3 I'm dealing with. It's going to metabolize it and digest a fat different than it is a carbohydrate, than it is a protein. So if we count those, now we're working with the way the body works and not the way the body doesn't work. It doesn't even look at calories. It burns calories. It doesn't measure calories whenever you eat. And I'll give you my famous example of this, what I mean by that. So pretend I put 2 plates in front of you, and on one of those plates, I put a big piece of cake. Total calories, probably about 500. And on the other plate in front of you, I put 3 big, beautiful organic chicken breasts. Total calories, probably about 500. Now, if you're a calorie counter, those 2 plates are exactly the same thing. They're both 500 calories. Well, is my body going to metabolize the cake the same as it does the chicken? Of course it's not. And so if I'm a calorie counter, I can eat either one of those and they both mean the same to my diet and I've gotten my 500 calories and I can move on. Same thing with these point systems. You know, you can't put a point on a cookie and say that's the same points as something else. Your body doesn't work that way, guys. That's not working with the body. That's making it really, really difficult.
Is it wrong that every time you bring this example up, I imagine a yellow cake with chocolate frosting on it, and all of a sudden I want cake real bad?
Yeah, I know. I do the same. I picture like chocolate on chocolate, you know? Oh. Yeah, one of my favorites. But, you know, that's why we can't look at it that way, is it just doesn't work. Now, if I change my thinking on this a little and I don't worry about calories, but instead I try to figure out how many proteins does my body need to fuel where I want to go? How many carbohydrates and fats should I eat to fuel my level of energy and activity levels and metabolism? Now I'm working with the body in the way it was designed to work. I'm on the same playing field as my body works on. This is such a better system than counting calories or counting points. Now I'm figuring out, what does my cellular structure need for fuel on this particular day? And I'm going to match that exactly. So my metabolism goes up, my fat burning increases, and my energy goes up. And now we're feeding the fuel that it needs. You know, if you have a gasoline car, you wouldn't put diesel in it. I wouldn't put gasoline in my diesel truck. And so when you're feeding your body the wrong type of macronutrients, you're sort of doing the same thing. It needs a protein and you're feeding it a carbohydrate, or it needs a fat and you're feeding it a protein. You've got to figure out what kind of fuel your body needs to run right. And now you're working with the body and not against it. And I have a simple little app that you can put on your phone. There's an app for that. There's a simple little app you can put on your phone to track all of this for you. And it even has a barcode scanner on it. You just scan the barcode like they do at the grocery store, and it scans your food, puts it right on your phone, and it keeps track of all of this for you. It also has a button on there where you can keep track of your activity levels and your water intake and your exercise. It keeps track of all that for you, which, by the way, as a side note, guys, you notice that exercise is not one of the 4 secrets. And this is important. You cannot exercise your way to weight loss. You just can't. Exercise has a lot of great benefits. Don't get me wrong. I exercise 3 days a week. Exercise is good for you, but it's not good for weight loss. It just doesn't work. It's not one of them. If anybody's ever been on the treadmill and you've been on there for 30 minutes and you're just dying and you look down and you've burned 80 calories, guys, that's one bite of something. You've spent 30 minutes to burn off one bite. And you can't do that. You would have to run a triathlon every day to burn off all the extra calories and the extra food that most people are putting in. So it's so much easier to work on the other side of the formula. Exercise can increase your metabolism. It can make you feel better. It can improve your heart. It can improve your mood. But weight loss, not so much. And then there's secret number 4, which we're going to get into right after this short break. But don't forget, if you want to participate in this amazing program, I only have room for the first 20 people. I'm going to be hosting a free community workshop on January the 16th at 6:30 p.m. called 4 Secrets to Permanent Weight Loss, where we're actually going to apply all this. I'm giving you generalities. There's a bunch of details to this. So at the workshop, I'm going to show you how to apply these 4 secrets to your everyday life so that you can finally get down to your ideal size and stay there. Make 2019 the year that you finally do it and don't just talk about it. The number to call is 837-7174, and we're going to do secret number 4 right after this break. It's 837-7174. Don't go away. Welcome back to Get Well Acadiana with Dr. Kevin. Thank you so much for joining me on this very important show today. And I hope that if you're one of those people out there that, like I said in the first segment, that's ready to come bang on my desk and say, tell me what to do, I will do whatever I have to do to get this weight off. If that's you, you can be successful. If you're not to that point yet, you probably won't be. You have to be to the point and ready to be willing to do whatever you have to do to get down to your ideal size to be successful. And you also have to do these 4 secrets of permanent weight loss to make it so much easier. You have about a 10% chance without it, and you have about a 90% chance with it. So we can literally take you from a 10% success rate to a 10% fail rate if you just follow this step-by-step process. So secret number 4 And what we call our ace up our sleeve is our new Invisired technology. And by the way, guys, this is optional on my program. You don't have to do this to be successful at weight loss. This is optional if you want to join into this part of it or not. You will still reach your ideal weight whether you do this part or not. So this is an option. But Invisired uses powerful infrared and LED lights to break down fat cells, and then they dump their contents into the lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system washes away the liquefied fat. And the reason that we bought this technology is that even when we were getting patients down to their goal weight, they would still have those difficult areas they weren't happy with. So in other words, we would sit down and I would say, great, you're at your goal weight. And they'd say, boy, I just have this, this kind of one trouble area that I still don't like how it looks. Maybe the love handles or the loose skin or stretch marks. We can now solve that as well. And it's completely pain-free. Invisired is some amazing new technology for weight loss, stretch marks, skin tightening, and body contouring. And when you combine all four of these secrets, all pushing towards the goal of permanent weight loss, there's nothing else like this in Acadiana. And I don't care what your situation or individual struggle is, these four secrets to permanent weight loss have no choice but to work. If you follow them, it works. Now, I didn't get into many of the nuances of, well, what about hormonal imbalance? What about testosterone levels? What about genetics? What about organ function, digestive health, structural problems? All of these things add into it as well. And we're going to get into all of the nuances of this at the workshop on January 16th. And obviously, you can't figure all of this out on your own, and you don't have to. That's why having a coach is so important. Having someone that's helped hundreds of other people lose weight and has been there himself and understands. I've been overweight my whole life, so I know what you're going through. I have been where you're at. And that makes such a huge difference. But having a coach there to develop a comprehensive strategy to methodically solve the reasons that your body is gaining weight, and then put a plan in place so that you can get down to your ideal size and stay there is the best and most simple way that you can finally do it this year. And I have a foolproof maintenance program so that you can never gain the weight back if you follow it. And I'm going to go into that maintenance program at the workshop as well. It's a little complex to get into here. I don't quite have time, but I have a program. Just know that if you follow the maintenance plan, you can never gain it back. I've kept my weight off now for over 7 years, haven't gained it back using these maintenance program that I have available. Now, there's no better time to begin working on getting you to your ideal weight. You may prevent a heart attack, you may prevent diabetes or cancer, or any other chronic disease that comes with being overweight. So I hope all of you out there listening that are struggling with weight will take action to conquer this thing once and for all, and I will be with you every step of the way. The workshop is going to be January the 16th at 6:30 p.m. at the Hampton Inn Conference Room right here in Broussard. The number to register, we only have room for 20 people, is 837-7174. That's 837-7174. Just leave your name and number on the machine, and when my staff gets back to work Monday, they will call you to book your seat and give you directions and all of that. You can do this. We can do this together. Having a coach that cares, that's an expert in weight loss, that's been there himself, makes all the difference in the world. Make 2019 your year to finally reach your ideal weight and then stay there permanently so that you can restore your health and live a longer, healthier future. That number was 837-7174. Thank you all. Have a great weekend. I'm glad you're joining us in 2019. Buckle your seatbelt because we've got some great topics coming up this year. Thank you all. We'll see you next time.